Now, in this video, now that we have done finding function outputs by hand, remember we can do this process in our graphing calculator. So our function on this problem is f of x equals 3 minus the absolute value of x. So I'll go to my y equals, type in my function, 3 minus, now remember where absolute value is. It's under the math key. Whoa. The math key of your calculator, go to math, then go over to the NUM, and the first thing underneath that will be your absolute value. So absolute value, and then put your x in, which is the key next to the alpha key. So let's graph this to see what the graph is going to look like, because I am going to have to graph this a little bit in MATLAB after I complete this table. So we'll notice that it is that V shape that absolute value graphs make. So now let's go to our table. So second, hit the graph key again, and here you will get all the values that you need to plug in to complete the table for the problem. So looking at the input -2, the output that will go with that will be +1. -1 input gives me a +2 output. 0 input gives me a +3. One input gives me a +2. And then a 2 input gives me +1. Then you'll check that answer. Good job. And then we're going to graph it. Now, remember what this graph looked like, because that's what you have to tell MATLAB first. It is that V shape. It's upside down, but it is the V. So I am going to tell it the absolute value. Now, look in your yellow rectangle. It says to click the graph to plot the vertex. Remember, when you are graphing in MATLAB, you have to plot the vertex first. The vertex is this point of the V where it changes directions. So I want to match that on my graph. So it looks like that is the point 0, 3. And then I can choose any of the other points from that table that I want. So I can go back to that table where I've got all those points that I created in the first part of this problem. There's another point at 2, 1. So to the right 2, up 1. When you're graphing absolute value functions in MATLAB, you only need 2 points. Save it and check it. All right, let's do one more of these problems in MATLAB. Go back to your y equals, clear it, put the graph or the function in your y equals. So I need x squared minus 2x minus 10. I'm going to graph it to see what it looks like. So that is that U shape, a parabola for the x squared. Now I am going to complete the table. So I'll hit second table, completing the table of the function values below. The first one at once is, what is it when x is -1? Well, that gives me negative 7. Going down to the 0, that gives me negative 10. Inputting a 1, that gave me negative 11. Putting in a 2 gave me negative 10. And putting in the 3 gave me negative 7. Complete your table. Check your answer. Fantastic. Then we're going to graph. Now, remember what this shape was. That's what we have to tell Math Lab. It is a parabola, so this U shape. And then you can plot any point. So if I'm going back to that table that I just created, let's see, our table started with that negative 1, so I could do negative 1, 7. There's another point at 0, negative 10. Oh, whoops, that's wrong. That should be negative 1, negative 7, not negative 1, positive 7. So I'll just clear it, start again. Negative 1, negative 7 is what that needs to be. If I could get my Math Lab to do what I want. Negative 1, negative 7. Here we go. 0, negative 10. So left and right 0, down 10. And then another point, I'll do 1, negative 11. So to the right 1 and down 11. To graph, once you plot 3 points, it connects it, save it, and check it.